Dear Dedalus, friends and family, so happy to be here at HIMSS Middle East in Riyadh. And we have one of our closest friends, Rachel Dunscombe, and she is our Chief Industry Advisor. And we welcome her. Nice to see you.
Thanks for having me here, Sam.
Lovely to see you. So we've got a few questions for you today. I hope you don't mind. The first question that I see is, we're seeing a lot of movement towards big data. We're seeing a lot of people moving away from individual software acquisitions like a small radiology or a small PACS or a specific small software solution. Where do you think it's all going?
That's a really interesting question, because as a CIO, I used to buy individual systems to perform one function. But now we've realized that data is really important. If you get a baby that goes into high dependency and has some chest issues, that will bear out on their risk stratification for the rest of their life. And we've realized really that data is being used many times. It used to be put in by a human at a computer and read once maybe by a human, but now that may be used thousands of times to risk stratify an individual or a group or a cohort. So really data has become a major focus now in terms of systems that we buy.
That's great. The other thing that I'm hearing is, when leading on to that, the next sort of question from that is that everyone's talking about the platform play. What do you see as the platform play, and where do you see it going?
Oh, that's very interesting, because a lot of governments are now talking about digital twins for populations or digital twins for individuals. And the platform play in healthcare is bringing all the data together for an individual or a population or a cohort, so that you can actually use that data to risk stratify, to do precision medicine and personalised health. And so everyone is now really looking at platforms and how they will actually help the healthcare sector.
Exciting, very good, thank you. So when we talk about the platform play, coming back to that question, how does that sort of translate into the population health direction?
Well, traditionally with population health, we've had to do an awful lot of work to pull data together, to clean it, to have it in the right format. But with platform play, that data will already be cleaned, it will be available, all the permissions will be around it. And so it makes population health possible, and it also makes us able to explore our data more readily to improve outcomes for our citizens.
Could you give me an example of where population health has been useful, and you've seen it in Dedalus, in one of our accounts potentially?
Absolutely. So I've been working with the US team, NYP, and looking at their use of the DC4H platform, and doing some really great sort of thinking around how they look at outcomes based on different boroughs within New York. And for me, that sort of, viewing where you have issues within a city, viewing where you have populations with challenges, that's really exciting for me.
That's great. I'm sure the New York Presbyterian story is well known, and if anybody would like, we will ensure that we can send a link that you can take it, have a look yourself. So usually I like to end the interviews with five questions, and the first question is usually, what brings you here today? But I guess we brought you here today, and we're really grateful for your time and for all the energy you've put in. But if you would answer that, what brings you to the Middle East? What drives you to keep coming back to this part of the world?
That's well, I've got to say it's an extraordinary environment here, policy-wise, talent-wise. They have got a mix of really wonderful circumstances to make progress. So for me, the Middle East is a vibrant, young region with policy that supports progress.
Yes, you're absolutely right. We're really blessed to be in this environment right now, and we do have less of committees, more of single decision makers, which really gets you across much faster to where you need to go.
I'd agree.
Yeah. So Rachel, what are you most excited to see in the sort of healthcare digitalization world that we live in today?
So I'm really excited to allow the citizens to self-manage and self-care. That the biggest actor in our healthcare system that we don't lean on is the citizen, and actually using the platform approach that we have here at Dedalus, we can enable data to flow from the citizen. That takes pressure off healthcare systems, but it's also a lot more convenient for the citizen in many cases. So for me, that is the really interesting next leap that we're going to take.
Yeah, it's an exciting one. So let's hope that all these things you said are going to come true.
I'm hoping so.
So, Rachel, will you tell the audience what do you think is going to change over the next 5 years in the healthcare ecosystem that we're living in today?
So actually, we're finding that we need smaller hospitals if we do virtual care. And I think what we're going to see are health systems redesigning in a lot more technology, data systems to be able to support the citizen in the home or in the community. So for me, I think the industry has got a whole new sector of solutions to actually create, enable, and I am very excited about the possibility of creating, a whole set of virtual care models.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing telemedicine over the last 3-4 years, certainly with, the famous word COVID, really come to light, and we even seen some countries closing hospitals down because they're using much more of the telemedicine approach. So yeah, I guess this is the future that we're living in.
It is the future, and I was involved in some healthcare planning in Australia a year ago, and it's up to 30% of beds can be removed if you have proper care in the community and near the home, but that's all digitally enabled, data enabled.
Rachel, I know you were a CIO for many years, and then you've obviously moved on and worn many hats and done different roles. What would you say are the main sort of differences since you're a CIO to now? What would you say are the things that have changed the most?
I think digital healthcare is really being taken seriously now. Yeah, we're seeing digital and data as the main enablers for our healthcare systems, and we're realizing that we can take a big leap in safety, quality, and efficiency using digital and data. So for me, it's a very different space. We now get CIOs in boardrooms. We get hospitals and healthcare organisations really doing amazing things that we were never enabled to do because of the investment that was needed, the sort of board governance, and really the environment we worked in. It was quite tactical back when I started.
Yeah, very true. There's going to be a lot of people watching this today, and many of them are the future CIOs of the world. What advice would you give those CIOs if you could?
Well, I'm really glad there are some people in the pipeline because this is a growth profession. But first of all, it's about your network. So make sure you've got, a set of people around you that you can really be supported by. And I've certainly had that. I've been very lucky. So every successful CIO has a network. Secondly, you have to learn to create partnerships with industry and collaboration. You will not survive, without those really strong collaborations with industry. And thirdly, have some fun on the journey, because this is really worthwhile. We're saving lives and improving lives. And I think it's really good just to remind yourself of all the good work we can do in digital health. It literally is a frontline service.
Rachel, thank you so much for your wise words and your wisdom. And we look forward to seeing you here again in the Middle East very, very soon.
Well, thanks for inviting me, Sam.
All the best. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.